Howdy folks, I just woke up and we're here to watch a Casual Geographic video right now. Yay. 10 most disturbing ways animals can hunt you, aka 10 reasons why I stay inside. Yeah. I'm sorry, but if I go any distance out in the wild where some animal can like hunt me now, I think I'm gonna be out there more armed than John Rambo. Yeah. Anyways, I'm expecting at least crocodiles and tigers on this. So yeah, mainly crocodiles because they're pretty smart and everything, and because the last video I reacted to that Casual Geographic did, and tigers because well they're ambush predators, and because the video that's being shown because yeah, this is the video I already know. I already know what video being shown is. Yeah, I didn't word that right, but I know the video at the beginning that's being shown. Yeah, and yeah, you're gonna see why. So let's just go ahead and jump right in the video now, shall we? And there it comes. It's coming. There it is. And jump all the way up there. Yeah, which is, well, whatever's being shown right now is too graphic to not even show. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's not the first time Casual Geographic started a video off with that one too. Oh, then that's a snake.
If you have nothing else to be grateful for, get on your knees and be glad that if you have 99 problems, avoiding predators ain't one.
Yeah.
I hope. Otherwise, you should probably get off your knees. Predators have petrified us for as long as cavemen had consciousness, simply off the fact that just seeing one implies many others had to die. But for many, it's not what they can do to you, it's how. And
wait, I want to see what that
implies many others had to die. But for many, it's not.
Is that a cougar in the tree? I can't see it. Actually, I think I can barely see it and make it out.
What they can do.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, yeah. It's right here. Yeah, right where my mouse is, yeah.
Do to you, it's how. And these are the top 10 worst animals to be hypothetically hunted by. And spoiler, it gets a lot less hypothetical as the list goes on.
Oh.
The only rule is, I won't be talking about sea stars or crocodiles. Only because
sea stars? Also, is this? I'm curious about the size of this. I don't know if this is like a close-up to a small thing, or if this is like a huge thing. I look at this and I think of like a huge star thingy. I don't know why, but okay. I guess he's. And he said he wasn't going to talk about this, right?
The only rule is, I won't be talking about sea stars or crocodiles.
Okay, yeah. So all right. So what I said about crocodiles, forget what I said. We're not going to see those. But I'm still betting on the tigers being on this.
Only because I just made videos on both. Trust
yeah, fair enough.
They're both very qualified to be here. And if that disappoints you, here's a consolation prize.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of things to be afraid of.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to be hunted down by primates. Yeah, I don't think I would like that.
Being marooned on an island, dehydration, exposure, but most don't consider being culled by crabs. And that's because, outside of remote islands in the Indian and Pacific Ocean, the coconut crab is only found in a very bad trip. Despite its name, coconuts are an insignificant part of a juiced up hermit crab's diet, but that didn't stop nature from equipping them with claws that can splice the fruit open. Besides, their street name is more lore accurate, as they're also called—
Jesus Christ, it looks like a mutation between a crab and a spider. Like, Jesus.
Robber crabs, since they'll swarm your camp and carry off anything that ain't nailed down. The problem is, that's also—
Bro, if I'm in a camp down and these things start swarming, I ain't staying. No, I ain't staying. No. No, like I'm already thinking of like getting out the spray-on deodorant and the lighter just by seeing these. Okay, I'm already thinking of that, and no, it will not end well. Okay, no. So whoever's gonna type out a comment saying you're just gonna cause a forest fire and piss off Smokey the Bear, yes, I know. Oh yeah, I'd say just get the car and run them over, but I'm afraid they pinch the tires. So yeah, and if they can break coconuts, there's no way they can't break tires. Yeah.
How they hunt. In 2016, scientists watched as a coconut crab climbed a tree and attacked a sleeping bird, snapping its wings only to continue its death grip after they both fell on the ground. Within minutes, several other crabs spawned in and proceeded to shred the barely breathing bird for hours. The crawling antichrists are scavengers with bloodlust, so
yeah, with the way I see this, So the way I see this thing's gonna hunt, one of them's gonna pinch you, it's gonna hold on to you until more and more come on. come around, and then, you know, maybe they'll add on to it, like they'll pinch you too, since, you know, you're human, you're bigger and everything, and they're just like, they're gonna keep on doing it till you fall over or something.
Gored by one means you'll certainly be maimed by more.
Yeah.
The fact that they can climb and track blood means there's nowhere on the island you can go where the Krusty Krab crew won't find you. The crabs are any-can animals, as in anything can get it. Rats, cats, even full-grown pigs can get flesh stripped, but the most disturbing stories are those of coconut crabs eating humans. One gruesome account followed the 82-day Battle of Okinawa, where Japanese soldiers bore witness to hordes of giant spider-like crabs ravaging the bodies of their dead comrades. There's no real proof that this happened or that it even involved coconut offenders, but unfortunately, that's exactly how the crabs would have acted. Imagine a gang of armored cockroaches.
I mean, if they're already dead, then yeah, that doesn't surprise me, because they probably went by and went like, "Ooh, free food." Yeah.
Carrying the jaws of life, except the outcome of getting caught between them is quite the opposite. And
Not forced to have a 25% chance of cracking a rib.
Between them is quite the opposite. And with a diet of detritus, most coconut crabs are poisonous to eat, especially since many have the habit of eating sea mangoes, a fruit so toxic it has another name, the squid apple. By far the scariest theory, though, is that it
Yeah, that's not something you'd want to eat then, yeah. No thanks. Because from the sound of it just straight up sounds like it's just straight up cyanide.
It was coconut crabs that perp-walked Amelia Earhart off the census. Scary because whether she was past tense on arrival or incapacitated a plane crash would not have changed the response by the crabs. And while it's just a theory, the idea that someone's last moments could be spent desperately dragging their crippled body before an army of crabs brutally mutilates them for hours as their suffering only draws more is enough to earn them a spot on this list. And yet, they're only number 10.
Yeah, they're only number 10. What else is next? Like, just Jesus, like, getting mobbed and torn apart wasn't bad enough. How are we going to get worse? And you know, just seeing the monkeys on here, you know, that's probably getting mobbed and torn apart by these guys sounds just as bad, yeah.
Most people aren't afraid of the dark, more so what could be in it. Thalassophobia is that before the ocean. Not a lot of people are afraid.
Go back.
More so what could be in it. Thalassophobia.
Bruh, he's just like here, you know, like above the water, goes like 1 inch below the water.
That before the
boom,
ocean.
right there, just hiding right there. What the hell? Yeah, and don't ever ask me why I'd never go into the ocean. Because, like, I know sharks aren't the most dangerous things in there. That doesn't change the fact that they can be one, and that they probably scare me. Okay, because like I'm afraid if I see one, I'm not gonna act right, and I'm gonna like make it think I'm food, and then it's gonna bite me, and then I'm gonna freak out, and then yeah.
Not a lot of people are afraid of the sky. Probably because you should be able to see what's coming. That's why the harpy eagle is number 9. Because if this is
I was about to say. I was about to say, isn't there those eagles that are like huge? And I was like, yep, like Jesus Christ, bro, this thing is bigger than my dog. Like Jesus.
You will never know peace. They're one of the biggest eagles on the planet, but what makes harpies built different is that their wings are way shorter, which means the harpy aimbot can chase you through the trees in a way no eagle ever should. Just imagine a homicidal hippogriff breaking into your house and snatching your little brother out of his bed. Now you understand the generational PTSD the monkeys on their meal prep carry. And those claws guarantee you don't get the chance to find out twice. The size of a grizzly bear's mitt with the grip force of a Rottweiler's jaws. You can actually hear the bones of their prey breaking as the harpies crush the life out of them. It's safe to say, the same feet that can crack open an armadillo would not feel good to have gripping your skull. It is incredibly rare, but there are cases of harpy eagles attacking and clawing humans. The eagle's leg had to be amputated because even after death, the talons wouldn't release their grip. In 2023, tourists in French Guiana walked past a perching harpy when it suddenly went for one of the women, plunging its claws into her scalp and leaving her with several deep lacerations. The concept of being jump scared
yeah, and with them claws too. Yeah, there's. Yeah, that wouldn't feel great.
Plus-size prehistoric Freddy Krueger cockatoo spikes my worst, but they rarely go after humans, and when they do, the fault's usually the humans. The next animal
like
not
what?
only punished
What? Do you have to like piss them off for them to do that or something? Is that why?
Deed of one man, it became one of the worst animal attacks in Brazilian history.
Okay then.
Australia gets the reputation
Oh,
for being
yep,
a saving
kangaroos.
sandbox, but not enough people give credit to the sheer insanity of the Amazon. What's a
Okay.
jaguar's favorite exercise?
Oh.
Skull crushers.
Right, yeah, those. Yeah. I still want to, like... I don't know why, but I just still want to import jaguars in Australia just so they can put kangaroos in their place. I just do. I just do. Because they're way too cocky, man. They're way too cocky. I see how they act. Those things are too cocky, alright? Someone needs to put them in their place, okay? Not even from Australia, but I'm just like, I want to put those things in their place. Their smug aura mocks me. And my idea of doing that is by importing jaguars into Australia. Oh, Christ. And they would dominate the kangaroos. I think the only good way kangaroos would be able to have against jaguars is by mobbing them or going in the water. More likely a better chance for mobbing them. I say in the water, it's kind of like who depends on what happens could goes. Because, you know, there's things hunt caiman by jumping down onto the back of them and biting into the back of their skull. Who's to say they're not going to do the same thing to the kangaroos when they're in the water? But then, you know, I'd still say they have a better chance, but, you know, if it's just one-on-one, but they could probably do better if they mopped up, but even then, it's just like, yeah.
Not to mention, you have a Jurassic reject.
The fact that they'd have to in the first place just goes to show, yeah. Why did I think this out and go in so depth? And let's get back on this.
What's a jaguar's favorite exercise?
Skull crushing,
crushers.
yep.
Not to mention, you have a Jurassic reject in anaconda, an animal that weaponizes
Yeah.
electricity, and we all decided that was okay.
Yeah.
And a fish that convinced thousands to never pee in a river. Yet the apex predator
Yeah.
of the Amazon isn't actually a jaguar.
I just want to know. There's a real picture. I just want to know.
To be fair, the
No.
giant
Oh,
river otter,
the otter.
is also called the ariana. Or the
Ariana?
water jaguar, but with its attitude and aptitude for gang violence.
Actually, you know what? This doesn't surprise me because these guys are adorable. Well, okay, maybe not these ones, but they can be. Actually, you know, they're still kind of adorable because these things can be adorable. But when they attack their prey, they're pretty damn vicious.
It's more like an unhinged water wolf. That gang mentality is how a group can make
Yep.
a jaguar hit the reverse with no key, and it's
Yep.
already bad enough that the roid weasel can grow to 6 feet long, without the fact that they'll also roll in a pack. It's an apex predator that eats mostly fish, but they'll also fold crustaceans, anaconda, and even other river otters will adjust their routine to avoid getting run up on by a crazy-eyed cousin.
And there's also a video of them mobbing up on a monkey too, and that was that was something.
You don't realize what multiple are capable of until you realize how bad they do caiman. Giant river otters will jump a caiman, overwhelming
Jesus.
it until its muscles fill with
The
lactic
caiman's just a victim to everyone, huh? Like jaguar victim, now river otter victim too.
acid, and it's virtually paralyzed. It's been said before, but that is an honest erectile dysfunction. An otter mafia will eviscerate the caiman alive, ripping it to pieces, while also sounding like if Rugrats took place in purgatory.
No, yeah, yeah. Yeah, just imagine hearing that while being torn to shreds. Jesus.
Imagine not knowing what river otters are and hearing that for the first time.
Nah.
The worst part is, it's been proven the same hunting tactic against a human is tragically effective. Silvio Delmar Hollenbach was a Brazilian army sergeant who had taken his family to the Brasilia Zoo when a bunch of commotion got his attention. A 13-year-old had fallen into one of the moats and now was being threatened by the animals in it. Hollenbach said, "Don't hold me back," and without thinking, leapt into the pool and lifted the injured kid out.
Okay.
Sadly, that meant the focus of the family of vindictive otters was now on Silvio, and the gang of aggressives dragged the struggling Hollenbach into the water and brutally mauled him in front of his family.
Damn.
Silvio would be pulled out, but the over 100 bite wounds in water that was the equivalent of a microbe mosh pit sealed his fate. He would die of a nasty infection.
Damn.
Hollenbach was mourned and celebrated by everyone. Except the boy he saved, who apparently never even mustered a thank you. The same
Damn.
13-year-old
Wow.
that got a man turned into a chew toy would be arrested in 2016 after scamming millions worth of pension money, proving
Wow.
that sometimes being a hero only means saving a villain. Getting mauled.
Yeah, that's... evidently we didn't know that's how it was gonna play out, but if we did, I was just like, you know, just keep him. Just keep him. If I was him and if I was hit with this knowledge before I tried going there, I'm like, you know, just keep him. Just keep him. Jesus Christ. What an ungrateful dick.
and borderline waterboarded by water wolverines is a horrendous way to go out. But again, the chances you get got by otters is still low. And for Silvio, it probably would have been 0 if those otters didn't just have babies. But the next animal is the mascot of F Around and Find Out.
Ooh. What, badgers?
The Cape buffalo makes no sense on this list. Until you remember, it's one of the few prey animals that actually hunts predators. The tank, nicknamed Black Death, is arguably the most death-edging animal to hunt because it is a top 5 most vengeful creature on Earth. Common misconception is that the lion's biggest rival is the hyena. That's laughable when a 1,200-pound piss fit can send a big cat backpedaling. The Cape buffalo is number 7 because cows are dangerous
is it even a rivalry, like you said? Because to me it seems pretty one-sided.
But if Widowmaker tastes death, the Rage Cow ensures you go down with it. The Cape Buffalo has treed lions for hours, and they'll stalk lion cubs just for the purpose of stomping them out.
That is true.
Now add that the Bush Mafia
don't mess around
in a super herd of over 1,000. Now you understand how lions risk going full-time horizontal every time they try them. And with a couple hundred people gored and killed by them a year, this is the first animal here with a respectable body count. The problem is, every year, people hunt them without realizing the buffaloes hunt back. An injured buffalo has been known to retreat to tall grass to lure you in and stalk you just to rear end you when your back is turned and keep going until you stop standing. And unlike most herbivores that'll straight up watch you get got, or in some cases gift wrap you themselves, Cape buffalo will spin the block for a predator in an effort 1,000 times John Wick. You know you're dealing with a menace when you're talking about a cow using the honey badger method on a lion. And some people have to be connected to God's
we got something for a honey badger in here.
Wi-Fi before
Matrix moment.
They understand. Texas trophy hunter Asher Watkins thought it was sweet until his target attacked him first, completely ambushing him. The spite-fueled beef struck Watkins at 35 miles per hour, tearing his chest and stomach open, and he was declared dead in the ambulance. A tragic death, but definitely not on the
Bruh, if it's looking at you, like, just start praying, man. Just start praying. Because, like, I feel like it's on sight if this thing's going to look at me like that. Because, like, I feel like it's found its target and it's going to be on sight, like, now. Like, just... It's such a ridiculous face, but if an animal's going to make that face at you, you know you're in trouble, okay? You just do. Like, just... Especially from this thing, like, just,
Imagine walking through a corn maze knowing you're one wrong turn away from a buffalo same-day shipping you to the Lord like an afterlife Amazon package.
Yeah, I'm good.
On several islands throughout Indonesia, you'll find a dinosaur time left behind. The Komodo dragon is one of those predators where, once they start hunting you, you're as good as dead. The Komodo is everything scary about coconut crabs, but on that Jurassic juice. Komodos will
eat. They're not to be messed with, But since they are being brought up, I remember someone bringing up like the the 100 gorilla or 100 gorilla 100 men versus 1 gorilla debate, and someone said, I'm pretty sure 1 Komodo dragon could take out 100 men, and I'm just like, no. Just not even close, okay? It'll probably get a few, because, some of them are getting bitten, but this thing is not, not even close. Like, that's just, no. Like, that's just straight up a death sentence for this thing. Like, just, no. No. I mean, granted, it has the tools to do it, but, it's not going to be able to get that, like, at all. Like, no. Like, there's going to... like, there's no. Like, seriously. Like, not going to happen. It's not. No. It's just not. It has the tools, but it does not have to weigh. No. At best, it'll get, like, a few, if even that, because I'm willing to bet that if they're extremely careful, that thing ain't getting anyone. Yeah, like, no, that's just straight up a death sentence for this.
Everything, and it's why baby dragons will hide up in the trees or even roll around in feces because the adults are highly cannibalistic. The steroid giga iguana also has the unfortunate habit of unearthing human graves and feeding on the long expired remains. The Komodo dragon only has about 12 successful hunts a year, so when one makes you a priority, prepare to spend days tailgated by a murderous monitor lizard. In 2008, 5 scuba divers were caught in a riptide and swept out to sea, and after 12 hours spent drifting the aquatic void, they landed on Rinca Island, where they spent the next 5 days playing cat and mouse with a monster resident dragon that took notice and stalked them, which isn't easy. thanks to another unfortunate habit of theirs.
Oh.
We used to think komodos were one-shot specialists that only needed to bite you once and then just wait for you to fold to bacterial infection. And as cold as that would be, it's like LeBron letting you get the ball just to spank it off the backboard. The truth is more disturbing.
Oh.
Komodos don't just let their prey go, but their contingency plan is if you do get away, the glorified gecko can track you by blood.
Yeah.
Anticoagulants in their venom keep you bleeding. So now it becomes a broken game of hide and seek, and playing it on an island the size of Philly means there's no point in the area code you can go where the leather bloodhound won't find you. Even worse, the longer you manage to play manhunt with monitors, the more dragons will be there to eviscerate you when you do fall. That blood sense is no joke. Menstruating women are actually advised against visiting for fear that the resident garbage disposals confuse them for a dying animal. There's stories of bleeding tourists lying to their guides to not miss out on the trip, only to be surrounded by dozens of komodos coming in from all over the island. And if you think there's no way an animal moving like that can catch you slipping, millions of years of evolution would argue. One incident saw 2 dragons stalking a
they're not exactly something I still want to try my chances with, okay?
From below a tree, and when Muhammad Anwar fell, the komodos rushed him and mauled him to death. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Or maybe you haven't heard a baby goat scream from inside of a dragon.
No, but I've seen the video of one eating one.
To say that the ocean terrifies me beyond comprehension is an understatement.
Same.
The animal that scares me more than any other isn't a shark, isn't an orca, not even a giant squid.
Well, there's no reason to be afraid of orcas, because they don't attack people, unless you work at SeaWorld now.
Not a squid, because I'd rather go skinny dipping around great white sharks than ever catch a humboldt squid in the wild. At only up to 6
Isn't
feet
this
long.
the,
They're not the biggest, but everything about the way they feed fuels my nightmares. When a hunting humboldt homes in on something, they'll approach it with all 10 appendages extended to grab prey and force it towards its mouth. And
Isn't this the thing he went over in that one video? Don't these things hunt in, like, if these are what I think they are, don't they hunt in packs of like thousands?
only can that beak slice skin and cut chainmail, they do it so fast that they can grab and retract prey in just one camera frame. Yeah, Not to mention, they have 2 tentacles with suckers that contain inner teeth. Great for grabbing. But the real reason the Humboldt is number 5 is because the way they would hunt you is straight out of a Stephen King wet dream. Humboldts can hunt in parties over 1,000 strong.
Yep, I knew what it was. I forgot what the video was on. I reacted to it a while ago, and I got my friends to react to it as well. Yeah.
They're also highly aggressive, speed-eating gluttons that'll strip fish down to the bones before fishermen even have time to reel them up. They're also trigger-happy with the cannibalism, and the moment one of their own shows weakness, it gets jumped and torn to shreds. The problem with Humboldts...
it's actually blinking red.
And the moment one of their own shows weakness, it gets jumped and torn to shreds. The problem...
Yeah, and that's supposed to be its way of signaling that you're free each, basically, if I remember correctly, yeah. And don't they call it the Diablo Rojo? Which is like, what is it, like the Red Devil or something? I believe that's what it means or something. It's something with devil in it.
With Humboldts is, they speedrun life so fast, they're never not thinking about food. And if you find yourself in the waters at the wrong time, you can get mauled by a pack of fleshy-armed box cutters. But it's the intelligence that's the biggest problem, because Humboldts aren't always aggro. They can be curious too, and they'll often steal cameras and lights just to take them apart and examine them. But Humboldts can go from 0 to homicide in seconds, and because they communicate by flashing red in a sea of black, once one says go, many more will follow. One diver was approached by a squid who gently started nibbling on him, and the diver, who probably couldn't believe his luck, started filming. And in seconds, the squid started pulsing red, and the man was immediately slammed by multiple as they simultaneously began to pull him into the abyss. He would escape, but he genuinely thought his ticket to Tupac was booked. And there's many more stories of divers being confronted by squids and nearly dragged to the point of no return, and some even swear they've had Humboldts attempt to rip off their masks and drown them. But going back to the first diver, I think the most disturbing part is the moment he didn't fight back and let himself look easy was the moment he became a green light to a red devil. The last unfortunate fact is that Humboldts will perform diel vertical migrations, where every day they rise from the depths to hunt before eventually going back down. So they're more likely to run into you during goblin mode. Unfortunately for the next animal, goblin mode is their entire life.
Oh, great. That's great. But yeah, that's yeah, that's definitely one of the more terrifying animals that you could be hunted by in the ocean. Like, just no, I'd rather not get swarmed while I'm in the ocean. Thank you very much. I'd rather not even be there in the first place. I don't even remember the last time I stepped foot in the ocean. Like, was. Actually, it wasn't too long ago. I don't remember. Yeah, I only stepped onto like the shoreline, because I was there for something important. But no, that's as far as I went. The last time I actually went full body into the ocean, I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
Probably heard that there's few animals that actively hunt humans, and that polar bears are one of them.
Yeah.
I want to clarify, they don't actively hunt humans, they just passively don't give a follow me now. No. Polar bears are the largest predators on land, and as big as you think they are, I swear to you they're bigger. The problem starts with the fact that they're the only hyper-carnivore bear. They eat meat, and meat stands for murk every and any time, and it can make up 95% of their diet, where in something like a grizzly bear, it can be as low as 10. That would be bad enough, but polar bears also live in a freeze-dried desert where in the winter, they can only live off of feces, foxes, and other fallen polar bears. Polar bears have way less options, and with the sea ice they depend on receding, they can either get creative or get cremated. So they don't actively hunt humans, the same way I don't actively grocery shop for Chips Ahoy, but best believe if I see them, I'ma grab it. That's a polar bear, except they don't have to see you. With the best nose of any predator, a polar bear can smell a seal from miles away. They can detect their breathing hole from another area code and can even clock a seal under a foot of ice. So it's really true. If a polar bear sees you, it's already too late. From 1870 to 2014, there have been only 73 attacks on humans, with 20 census subtractions.
Only
but
73.
Being targeted by the ultimate predator of persistence is a different level of fear. In 2016,
that one looked cute. Oh, I go back.
Targeted by the ultimate predator of persistence is a different level.
This is actually a cute picture now.
Of fear. In 2016, 5 Russian scientists were held hostage by over 10 polar bears who stalked their weather station and forced them to have supplies and flares airdropped by helicopter. In 2019, 50 polar bears invaded the town of Novaya Zemlya and put them in a state of emergency, where people were afraid to leave their houses and refused to let their children go to school. And with shooting them being illegal, folks had to bear this reverse Goldilocks situation unarmed. And I mean that literally, with ice bears breaking into residential buildings. Polar bears are a force of nature, and number 4, because once one chooses you, you can't run fast enough or swim far enough to be safe. One swam over 400 miles in 9 days, so
over
trust
400?
that
Jesus
would not get away. But there's always been something about a carnivorous Q-tip that unsettled me, and I think I figured it out. Polar bears are a lot like the squid, where they're incredibly curious and intelligent, which makes the way they hunt and engage in general seem cold and calculated. You'll often notice in a lot of videos where they approach humans, the polar bears seem quiet and emotionless, and you can almost see them trying to figure it out. And their face expressions and body language tell you nothing. A polar bear pulling up on you can be curious, apathetic, or ready to revoke your presence, and you will not know which. And that's just it. They're disturbingly deadpan.
Yep. Like, I love these things. But goddamn, are they dangerous?
I think that's by design. Most black and brown bear attacks are defensive, meaning they either had cubs around or you managed to catch them off guard. And most times they'll give you many signs that you're effing around in the jurisdiction of finding out. A polar bear doesn't.
Nope,
oftentimes
it doesn't.
Polar bear isn't
what
trying
has the
to
Gen Z stare?
With you, it's trying to eat you while weighing the cost. So what often makes them look cute and innocent is actually them being apathetic, emotionless terminators. Because remember, they don't fear humans the same way their cousins do. And most encounters are on the polar bear's terms. So it's true when they say, if it's black, push back. If it's brown, retire to the ground. And if it's white like a sheep, you finna go to sleep. Color of a beluga, last time talking to you. And white like a picket fence.
What was that?
Of a beluga.
Okay.
Last time talking to you. And
I hope its legs aren't broken. I hope it didn't just laugh at a disabled polar bear.
Like a picket fence means you wake up past tense. Number 3 and number 2 are both interchangeable. It just depends on which movie scares you more. A gross out body horror slasher flick or a psychological mental health massacre. If you pick psychological, wait for number 2. And if you pick slasher, well, you probably already know how horrific it is being hunted by chimps. The sick joke is,
there it is. Now they're bringing brought up.
Diet is meat. Yet in places like Ngogo and Uganda, they can have a success rate of 80%, and it's because the way they hunt is coordinated and calculated. First, you have drivers, and their job is to pressure prey into the trees without actually trying to catch them. The moment you try to climb, you've screwed yourself, because there's also blockers whose job is to limit any possible escape routes and make the literal jungle gym even smaller. So now you gotta avoid them while being chased through the trees by chasers. The last role are the chimps smart enough to anticipate where you'll try to escape and will camp themselves in the perfect spot to snatch you if you pass by. It's painfully effective, and once something like a colobus monkey is caught, it's immediately crippled and eviscerated into several pieces.
Of course.
I genuinely have to be careful with what I show y'all. Just know
Sounds
that
like...
monkey's still alive, and he gets his arm snapped up.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I see why you gotta blur this, because, like, yeah, I'd rather not take my chances, but, based on, the movements I am seeing, that monkey is getting slammed into the ground like a goddamn ragdoll. Yeah.
After all that.
Until it's just not moving anymore, yeah. Yeah. It's Donkey Kong beating it into the ground.
Chimpanzees are number 3 because they might have the most brutal ways of past tensing prey, and they don't discriminate. Chimps are on record ambushing families of gorillas, frightening the females and running fades with a silverback, and kidnapping any babies to remove them. They're not the only babies at risk, and viewer discretion is advised. As habitat loss and food shortages have pushed humans and chimps together, there have been more cases of chimpanzees snatching human children with chilling results. One human toddler was actually, hold on, viewer discretion, I mean it this time. One human toddler was grabbed by a big male, and in less than a minute, he broke his arm, beat his head in, and even disemboweled the boy and removed his kidneys. Being hunted by chimps is like playing death tag with parkour-capable pack-hunting zombies, but luckily, meat isn't their main food, and attacks are still relatively rare, which is why I have tigers at 2.
Oh, and they are here. Look at that. There we are. They're here. Called it. And psychological with this one too? Oh boy.
Humans, but living on top of each other for centuries is why tigers have the highest human body count of any animal on this list. Yeah, but folks traditionally wore masks backwards in order to discourage the tiger into thinking he had lost the element of surprise. But it's believed the trick was spammed too hard, and now the tigers are catching on. But intelligence is the second scariest thing about them. Number 1 is they are the most vengeful animals on the planet. Black Death.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Piss off a tiger, and you might not live to regret it.
Probably not.
You may have heard of the poacher that shot a tiger and stole part of its kill. So the tiger tracked him down all the way to his cabin, destroyed anything that smelled like the poacher, including his mattress, just to John Wick the man when he eventually returned home. Tatiana.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing something about that. There's a story he went over with a tiger in like one of his horror story videos of animals. Which, like, didn't one, like, just start hunting down people in a village because, like, of a broken tooth or something? Because because that effectively cripples them, so it needed to hunt weaker prey, that being humans. I believe, if I remember correctly, then yeah, I might have to go back and watch that video again.
Tiger proved that you don't have to be in the wild to find out. After she escaped her San Francisco enclosure to track down and savage the men that had taunted her. But by far, the most notorious tiger in history was the Devil of Champawat. This was a Bengal tiger who had gotten her canine teeth broken, likely by a human, which meant she could no longer hunt her normal prey. The result was she started stalking humans. The end game was the man-eater of Champawat destroyed 436 people, eluding poachers and hunting parties, and somehow always knowing when to leave an area and lay low. Tigers are quick and efficient. They take you out and then return back to the shadows. And honestly, I'd probably die of an anxiety attack long before a feline flatline. They don't usually go out of their way, but all the extra exposure around humans has shown us exactly what tigers are capable of, and the worst part is they could easily be scarier. The reason tigers are orange is because orange isn't a concept to the animals they do prey on, and if we were on that list, this is what the world's biggest reaper would look like, and it's still not number 1.
Yeah, what is number 1? That is what I'm curious about, because, you know, getting hunted by a tiger already seems pretty friggin' horrible, and, you know, something I'd rather not have happen. Because those things are already ambush hunters, and they're smart, and they're, like, I'm pretty sure they're, like, the most dangerous big cat out there. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they are, especially with how vengeful they can be. So, yeah, they're not exactly not exactly a big cat I'd like to be hunted by. So, yeah, I'm good. But I'm curious what number 1 is going to be.
Orcinus orca is the most oppressive predator on the planet, and at this point there's not much I can say that you don't already know. You know they're intelligent, but what genuinely surprised me is they take very few risks. If prey has the smallest chance of fighting back, orcas will move the needle to 0 before they move in. Not only that, but their methods change depending on the target. That's why they'll soul slap a stingray before it can sting. That's why they'll immobilize sharks before they can bite. And it's why they'll up smash a seal as high as they go like Super Smash Bros. But they don't neutralize prey just to be safe to eat. They'll turn a dying animal into a life lesson. In that same stingray clip, a family of orcas toyed with the half-alive stingray before letting its body sink into the abyss when they were done. I genuinely
they didn't even eat it?
Stingray was slapped by the orca grandmother, and the rest of the pod was playing with it in order to learn.
It didn't even eat it. That's just disrespectful. And what do you expect from these things? These things practically own the ocean. Well, somewhat, yeah.
How to deal with one, and when the lesson was over, they had no further use for him. It's not cruelty, it's communal calculation, but it is why orcas are the most fear-inspiring, heart-retiring predators to have, and if you're still not convinced, let me tell you a story that still sticks with me.
Right.
One grandmother orca was not only smart enough to memorize when elephant seals in the Falklands would breed, she knew exactly where and what time the tide would be high enough to hold her. This 20-foot Type A dolphin basically staked out the nursery pool until the tide got high enough for her to seemingly spawn out of nowhere and abduct a defenseless seal pup, where she then dragged the seal out to sea as a practice dummy. For the next several hours, her family toyed with and tormented the baby seal,
Christ.
with the pup alive for most of it.
Of
Again,
course.
it's not evil or torture, but it is how orcas polish their prowess. But for the seal, that's stranger danger on steroids, and one of the worst ways to go out.
Yeah.
Slowly, and with zero hope. And now you see why great whites will piece out of a favorite hunting ground for a calendar year if they have a run-in with an
Yeah,
octa.
I'd peace out if I was a great white and I saw these things too, especially with how these things treat them, like just... No, with the way they with the way these things treat them, it just sounds like a great white is like these things' favorite snacks, and it's like, oh, peace out.
Dolphin, and why humpbacks feel the way they do. We're talking about animals that'll role play as prey and practice drowning each other before they try it on a baby blue whale. It's not an act of malice more than survival, simply a skill surplus for them and a skill issue for everyone else. I won't slander them.
See, these things probably aren't as terrifying as they are because, you know, hardly ever have they attacked a human. Like, I think the only time they've ever done that is in captivity. And I think the closest they've ever gotten to that in the wild is, like, taking out boats, which, you know, I don't think they were I'm pretty sure they were not directly trying to kill any humans, but you get the point.
But I definitely pity their prey more than anything else's.
Yeah.
I gotta come clean. I did lie to you.
Oh.
They're actually not the most oppressive predator on the planet. That would be...
Oh.
Take away the guns, the technology, and everything else. The very foundation of how humans hunt makes them the most horror movie predators ever.
Oh.
Simply put, imagine a predator you can never run away
The Homo sapiens, oh boy. Yep, I know where this is going.
from. You can get ahead. You can even get out of their sight yet.
Yep.
Every time you turn
They'll
to the
find you.
horizon, they're there. They're not even tired. But
Yep.
you are. You're exhausted. You're thirsty. And about to drop from heat stroke, yet there they are.
They will chase
Not
your
missing a
ass into
barely
exhaustion.
breaking a sweat. Hell, you can't even sweat.
Yeah.
Not like them, and it's killing you. You look in the distance, and to your dismay, here they come again. But this time, you don't have the strength to get back up. They're slow, but persistent. Like an immortal snail that never stops.
Yeah.
They run you
Except
into
worse.
the ground, waste you without even touching you, and come
Yeah, like, hey, what would you do if this immortal snail is always chasing you and it find you? I don't need to think about it. We've already had those. We've been that snail before in the past. Yeah.
sunrise. They're ready to do it all again. You just won't be there to see it.
Yep.
They're finally here. They literally walk you down knowing you're at your limit. One raises its stick, you close your eyes, you'd breathe your last breath, but they took all you had left, just like they take everything else. Your story's over, but the ending was authored long before you first ran. It's not your fault. It's not evil or a crime, but it is what happens when you meet the scariest predator of all time.
Man. Yep. Back then, anyways, Homo sapiens, whatever you want to call them, yeah. But, yeah, that's also why I think it's possible to do the one gorilla versus 100 men fight without losing a single man. Just do it because, you know, they're not exactly confrontive, especially against, or at least I imagine they wouldn't be against, you know, 100 people. And I have a feeling that, you know, if you just utilize that method, then there you go, yeah. Yeah. Man, I really thought it was going to be orcas at the end with how much he was talking about them, because, you know, it would be pretty terrifying if they, you know, those hunted humans, but then, nah, we just went back into Homo sapiens, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, that's equally as terrifying, if not more. Probably more, because, you know, you don't have to go into the ocean to find them. Yeah. Now we have modern-day technology, too. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good video. I enjoyed it. I actually really did. It was a really good video. Yeah, I did. I really liked this one, and I hope you guys did too. And if you did, check out the original, which will be linked in the description below. Don't forget to not doing my intro right. Check out Casual Geographic. Go support him for making this great ass vid. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications to miss anything. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.